Please update your table of contents. Today we're going to look at section 8.6, factoring. Alright, today is actually going to be a little bit of a review for us. We've done factoring before. We called it the Xbox method. So if you remember, this game we play, what two numbers are going to multiply to 18 and add to negative 11. So if you don't know, what you can always do is just start from 1. 1 times 18 is equal to 18. And then 2 times 9, 3 times 6. And so what I'm doing, I'm just working my way up on the left hand side. 4 doesn't go into 18, 5 doesn't go into 18, and then 6 goes into 18, but it would be 6 times 3, and I've already have that set of factors. So these are the three factors. So now we got to see, can we combine these in some way to get a negative 11? Well, since I have to multiply to get a positive, that's telling us that both of these numbers are going to have to be negative, because a negative times a negative will give us a positive number. So I can go ahead and make them all negative. And so now if I add them up, negative 1 plus negative 18 is negative 19. That doesn't work. But negative 2 plus negative 9 does equal negative 11. So my answer here is negative 2, negative 9. So go ahead and try 1b on your own. Now here notice that these numbers are going to multiply to negative 24 and add to a to a negative 2. So the factors of 24 are 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6, 5 doesn't go into 24, 6 goes into 24, but we already have that set with 4 and 6. So now when we multiply, we want the answer to be negative. And so that tells us that one of the answers has to be positive, one has to be negative. So since it's going to add to a negative number, that's telling us that we need to have more negatives. So I can actually just make all the bigger numbers on the right hand side negative. So now 1 times negative 24 is negative 24, but if I add those together, it's not going to be negative 2. So which set of numbers are going to multiply to negative 24 and add the negative 2? And the correct answer is going to be 4 and negative 6. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're looking at something in factored form, and so now we actually have an equation. We want to know when it's going to equal 0. So what we do here is we take this and we write two separate equations. X plus 2 equals 0, x minus 3 equals 0, and then we solve each equation. And we get minus 2 minus 2. So on the left one, x equals negative 2. Over here we add 3, and we get x equals a positive 3. So our equation has two answers, so x equals negative 2 and positive 3. And so go ahead. So number 3 is the same thing, except you'll notice now this binomial might be a little more complicated. So I'm hoping you could look at this problem and tell me what the answer is. What would make this 0? So if you can look at it and tell me that the answer is negative 9, you don't need to show me any work for that. This one is not so easy. So if you don't understand where the negative 9 came from, we'll take a look. Again, you split it up. 3x plus 4 equals 0, and x plus 9 equals 0. So now when we solve this, our first step here is to minus 4 from both sides, and we get 3x equals negative 4. Now we divide both sides by 3, and we get x equals negative 4/3. The one on the right, minus 9 from both sides, x equals negative 9. So again, you don't need to show me this work if you can look at that and get the answer. But for this one, it's a little more complicated, so I would want to see that. And so our answer is going to be negative 9 and negative 4/3. So try 3b. Now we're going to solve this. And so it says it has a perimeter of 9. And so remember, to find the perimeter, you just add up all the sides. And so this is going to be a 3x squared plus 5x plus x squared. And it tells us our perimeter is 9, so we know this is going to equal 9. And so I have like terms that I need to combine, and so that gives me 4x squared plus 5x equals 9. Now this is a problem where we wouldn't want to complete the square. One, because this is a 5, and we would want to take half of the middle number, but also we only complete the square when our first number is a 1. So in order to solve this, what I need to do is I need to make it equal 0. So when I minus 9 from both sides, I get 4x squared plus 5x minus 9. And so now what we do is now we draw our x, and we take our first term and our last term and multiply it together and get negative 36. Now we take our middle term, the 5, and put it on the bottom. And then we play the game that we started with, the what numbers multiply to negative 36 and add to 5. So we have 1 and 36, 2 and 18, 3 and 12, 4 and 9, and 6 and 6. So since this is a negative, one of these is going to be negative. Since they're going to add to a positive, that means my bigger number needs to be positive. So that means all my small numbers here are negative. And so now, which pair of numbers are going to add to 5? And so that gives us minus 4 and positive 9, because negative 4 times 9 is negative 36, and negative 4 plus 9 is 5. And so now we go to our x box. So remember, the first number goes in the first box, the last number goes in the last box. And I'm going to put these numbers in red. And it doesn't matter which box you put these in. Just make sure you add the x. Now we take out what's in common. We do the let's do the row first. So what do 4x squared and 4x have in common? So we can take out a 4x. What do the 9x and 9 have in common? A 9. So now here, going vertical, do 4 and 9 have any numbers in common? Nope, so we can only take out an x. Here, when they're both negative, we take out a negative, and there's no numbers in common, there's no x, so it's going to be a 1. And so this thing here factors to 4x plus 9, x minus 1 equals 0. And since this was 9 was positive, that's where the positive came from. Now we split it up. 4x plus 9 equals 0, x minus 1 equals 0. And then we solve it. Minus 9 4x equals negative 9. Divide by 4. And so this one on the left gives me x equals negative 9/4. Over here, you should be able to look at that. It's just going to be adding 1. This one gives me x equals 1. So again, we're talking about distance here in our figure. So this isn't going to work. And so my answer is x equals 1.